Hey guys, so we're gonna do a reading this morning. I've been reading the Will Smith, Chris Rock situation, reading a little bit with Jada as well. Everything surrounds her, you know. I know some people might be like, "Oh, I'm so sick of it" and stuff. But still, there is a still big chunk of the public that are captivated by this story. And why are we captivated? It's because it's bigger than just a slap, a show, things like that. There's so many dynamics here. When you see someone, especially when there's a celebrity who is really big, something about seeing stars rise and we love them, but something about when they fall. Okay, and sometimes people even love to hate them. Just like Michael Jackson, how loved, and then when stuff, things were with the children and all that, there was all this drama, and everybody captivated by it. Which that's a long story. I personally feel a lot of that is a bunch of hokey doke. Personally, okay, about Michael Jackson. Okay, I feel that. I'll talk. Maybe I'll talk about it one day. But I feel there's a lot of BS with that. Okay, with things that they said about him. But anyway, let's talk and kind of focus on this and what we're going to talk about. But Will Smith, he did go ahead and he did resign from the Academy. I didn't necessarily know that was a thing you could do, or I might have maybe asked a reading on it. I didn't necessarily know that you could. I just didn't think about there's a membership there or something. I know there is for a Screen Actors Guild. Okay, I know there's that. Maybe some news will come with that. I don't know. That there's a being a part of that. I know that, but I didn't necessarily know there was a membership to the Oscars. I didn't know that. So from what I understand, if I'm correct, I don't feel he can be nominated again, present at awards. Definitely won't begin that Lifetime Achievement Award one day. Okay, which he could have maybe when he got up there in age and so forth. Samuel Jackson did get that, for example, at the Oscars, which was really great. And apparently Samuel Jackson, just to throw in a quick tidbit, has done 150 films, they said. Something like, I didn't realize he was in so many. That is a lot of movies. Okay. So anyway, but really just, I am fascinated. Everybody's got feedback, opinion. The YouTubes they're so vast at this point. I've been very fascinated, especially the male perspective. Especially African American male perspective is very, especially on Jada, is very intense. Okay, there's a lot about that. It has been very, very intense, very powerful messages coming forward. It's also brought a lot, into the public view about relationships, about infidelity, about narcissism, about masculinity. Okay, about what it is to be a man. I mean, all of these, the topics are so incredibly powerful and vast in everything that this is pretty intense, mental health, but especially how women relationships can break somebody down and everything like that, how the wrong relationship can do that to you. Okay. And I think a lot of us would kind of sit there and just like these people probably should not be together. A lot of us would kind of sit with that and be like, they should not be together. I mean, my own, I did do a read like, Will and Jada, deeper level. And I've read for them before a long time ago when the affair, right before the affair was announced, where she admitted it. And, and I feel that, with the Red Table Talk, there's, Jada kind of sits there and definitely kind of puts I know she's trying to appear deep and things like that, but she's kind of putting the blame on Will, as if he's not doing something. You should know how I feel, or or something, and this is why I had an affair. Just kind of weird, just not taking responsibility, and she won't admit it's a transgression. If you saw the snip there, when he's trying to be very gentle and joke with it, says the word transgression. And she's like, I don't feel it was a transgression. Just looks deadpan and everything when she says that. It's like, there's some things there, not wanting to really take responsibility for that, that this is not right, and somehow trying to shift everything to make it all acceptable, that what she is doing is okay, which it's really not, obviously, for his mental health. I don't feel it is. And some heavy duty things. So it's thrown a lot of stuff even into our culture, relationships and open marriages, and and I feel it's almost like, here's a Pandora box. He does this slap, and it opens the Pandora box to so many issues that, but I would say the one good thing, not good maybe for Will Smith necessarily, but it's got everybody talking about certain things. It's got a conversation going with many people, and it's amazing how we all have different perspectives about it and stuff like that, which is really deep and so forth. And I know it's real easy for people to say Jada is the problem, at fault, everything is her fault. That's the easy route. I feel it's deeper than that and stuff. It can't be all one person's fault here, for everything that's been going on. Okay, Will Smith has responsibility. He's not totally innocent. He has responsibility. He's always had the power to walk away if he's not happy, right? He's always had the power to walk away, and stuff. But for whatever reason, he feels this, he's trying to take the high road commitment, and maybe that is his problem. Trying so hard to be a good person, a good father, a good husband, a good family man, and taking this high road approach to things, that I won't leave her no matter what. We're life partners, this, that, and everything, trying to be so true. But what is he being true to when somebody is going on and, having, a sexual affair relationship, with one of her son's friends? Why are we so devoted and dedicated that? Does she deserve that kind of level of devotion? That's something I weigh here, and I know a lot of us are weighing, is why is that? What, love makes you do crazy things. Maybe it does. Is it love, or is it a deep codependency? I was just about to say something. Hold on. It'll come to me in a minute. It'll come to me in a moment and stuff. But it is so hard to see someone that many people, have loved. And I think of children, looking up to Will Smith in so many ways, working so hard to build himself, into somebody so, amazing. And just one night, one shot, it just blown in a split second decision of craziness. And I really feel a lot of it, is all that pressure, of being dragged for a couple years, and a lot of it is Jada's responsibility. I do agree with that. Getting him on Red Table Talk and kind of beating him down in front of everyone, people making fun of him. And then it's almost like he's trying to prove himself, not only, to the public, but yeah, sure, to her too. But you can only blame Jada so much because he's the one who got up and did it. Okay? He's the one who got up and did that. That's his responsibility. He's a grown man. He's a grown man. And we all know, and he damn well knows, he shouldn't have done it. Okay? Here I go. I'm going to shift. I'm going to get ready. So I feel like one of the things I'm going to kind of focus on is kind of the deeper level. This is a deep lesson even for all of us. Especially, but just, it's amazing. There's, if I could even step back, there is an incredible thing with what is feminine and what is masculine in society right now that is very powerful. Gender roles, very powerful, going on. People, the way they identify it, there's so many things that I just think of our young people kind of growing up, and they're already confused, and it just confuses so much more, especially when we have adults behaving badly. I just don't know how they sift through all this. But, it's like everything's so blurry about these roles. and everything, and it's of identification. It's, so it's almost not fair to, beat him up and say he's not a man because this, that. I wish people would stop doing that and everything, because it's definitely put a lot of pressure on him, in that moment of, I got to prove my manhood. It's almost like, I've been dragged in the public. I'm going to show, whatever reason, and, and everything. I'm going to have to go home. And he probably was like, oh shit, I laughed at that joke. And she will, well, there's no sense of humor there, a little bit of fear there, maybe. There's all kind of stuff. But what does Spirit want us to, what's kind of a bigger lesson Spirit wants us to get out of this? That's what I would like to talk about. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Of course, we'll talk a little bit about will and everything, but what's kind of a bigger lesson here that Spirit really wants us to learn from this crazy, crazy kind of thing that happened. We're going to do this one. So many dynamics here at play, so many powerful lessons and stuff. But I know there's, there's so much going on, with gender identification and things like that and everything. I just feel like, God, it's so confusing nowadays. It's so confusing, what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman. That card pops up. Two of Cups. Did you see that card go like that? The Two of Cups. These soulmate connections are so precious, and everything. And we all have our ideals about what love is and so forth. I feel that a lot of us do want a deep soulmate connection, a good love relationship. And I know definitely that's something that Will Smith has always strived for and everything like that. But, everything is getting so toxic in so many ways, in so many people's lives. They're so incredibly confused and everything. We got the Wheel of Fortune, and definitely, there were so many things, that Will Smith was so fortunate on. But, I'll tell you, I wish, that Jada would also kind of look at, and stuff, that the life she has and everything, and I think she knows it deep down, but she wouldn't even have the life she has right now if it was not for Will Smith and everything like that. That he has done everything he can to try to make that woman happy and give her a good life. And she, and I definitely feel a lot of breaking down, putting him down, and everything. And we talked a little bit about deeper dynamics. I feel that he has fought for decades that he can't be Tupac in her life and so forth. But, she needs to even look at, counting her own blessings of her own life. And I really feel she doesn't do that. But let's look at deeper level. What does Spirit want to talk about? Yeah, we got that Queen of Wands energy. And, and that, especially, women, definitely taking on, leadership roles, stronger roles, balancing even that divine feminine and masculine as well, being powerful. I'm all for that, of course. You guys know that and everything. But I feel that it's like it does affect men. Here's the Knight of Wands in the reverse position. That when some women step into their power, some are some men have a hard time with that. That they're also confused by it when it comes to these roles and so forth. But, we need to be more accepting and giving to each other and things like that. We really need to do that. Now, Will Smith has been coming up for me as the King of Pentacles. He is in the reverse position right now. And this is moving in the past position. I feel, and that's a lot, just building himself up, building his wealth, his power, his respect, and everything. All that's really turned upside down in a I wouldn't say, well, yeah, it really did happen in a split second, action, definitely a lot of that, but, one of the things is, it is true, and he was even acknowledging, and it's kind of sad, that, celebrities and everything got to take a lot of, hits and abuse and, kind of talked about and everything, that happens. But I feel even when he was making references to certain things like abuse, there's what's been going on at home and everything like that, just having to take it and take it and take it. He's exhausted and stuff like that. And we've got the Empress in the reverse position. I actually feel that's Jada, is popping up in this position because Venus and love, just not showing him that love and everything and that support that he needs, has just really taken a toll and everything like that. So let's kind of go ahead and look. Yeah, the Seven of Wands, when he just kind of went in there feeling like he had to stand up for himself, show his manhood, see that kind of taking on the aggressive and everything. And that was just a bad move, hence the reversal, doing that and so forth. Not a good move. Bigger, less, oh, yes. I see we've got that, just, the accomplishment, the Nine of Cups, working so hard to accomplish so much and everything. But the Nine of Cups is a tricky one because there's one cup missing. It's not a 10 and it's not complete. What's the thing missing from his life? Accomplishing, a good marriage, just not being able to achieve that. But one of the things, we've got the Six of Swords in the reverse position. He needs to move away from troubled water. But he's like, no, I'm going to stay in this troubled water. No matter what, stick with it, put up with it, and everything. And it's just, it's taking its toll. I just don't know if he can take much more of this. And Judgment. He's being judged, dragged, but this has been going on even before the Oscars, okay? A lot of it. And it's happening even more now. It's ferocious. And it's a big thing. And, just with the Eight of Swords in the reverse position, just being trapped in the situation so long, he needs to get free of it. Now, let's kind of go, what is the bigger message here? What is really Spirit with this huge thing that's come out in the open really want to say about that? Well, the Death card, the Death card. I feel that we are making a shift in society, which is very different and very dramatic, with certain things and attitudes when it comes to marriage relationships, have gone really awry. But I feel like, one of the things that is happening and occurring here, with that, is that some of this attitude is going to come to an end, in the sense that as a society and as people and as spiritualists, we need to recognize and realize, okay, that this stuff just does not fly. Now, I know I'm going to sound a little judgmental when I say this. I'm talking on a spiritual level. There are a lot of times people try to adapt to having with, relationships, like open relationships and friends with benefits and polyamorous and all that, and all these various things. Okay, but Spirit is kind of like, this, however, this is what it's about. Okay, really, that soulmate, life partner connection. Okay, but people are making it complicated. Okay, that people are making it complicated. Jada made it very complicated bringing in this young man and having an affair with him. And Spirit's like, we got to kind of return to some things here. And now I want to be clear as I'm saying this and stuff, is kind of having a return to some kind of normalcy of relationships. Also, I'm speaking of even people that are gay partners. Okay, that also is soulmate connections. That also, is acceptable. But what are we doing when we're trying to have these one-to-one deep soul connections, but we're really kind of straying from the path if we're bringing in all these partners? Okay, an open relationship and allow me to go have affairs and it's okay. This kind of weird, strange stuff. Okay, and that's the Death card. It's the whole thing with what happened with Will Smith shows that on a deep soul level, that people can't handle that kind of thing. Okay. Oh, the person, I'm sure Jada can handle it. Oh, she probably loves having an affair with a young hot guy. Okay, but Will Smith's heart can't handle it, and a lot of people's heart can't handle that, and so forth. And so that's why Spirit's like, we got to kind of return to love here. We got to kind of return to love and recognize, what relationships are really supposed to be about and everything and stuff. And then we've got the Temperance card. Now, the Temperance card is also about not only about patience, divine timing, all that beautiful stuff, but it's an alchemy card. Okay, it's an alchemy card. It is also, even though it is depicted with water, which a lot of times I let people know, it is actually the element fire. The card is Sagittarius, and it's Archangel Michael, which is also the element fire. It is an alchemy card. We need to kind of go through this. We got to transform and everything, all this, and get to a higher plane, with ourselves, and we just got to start working harder and everything like that. But it is very interesting. But a lot of this really has to kind of be looked at a deeper level. That people that are complicating, these relationships, with stuff like this, these open marriages, or, okay, we'll be life partners and you could have affairs or whatever this crap is, these things do not work. They're really not, they're really not the way to go. They're really not. Now, of course, there are certain, you may have more than one relationship in a lifetime, but you're not supposed to do it all at once. Okay? You're not supposed to do it all at once. And it's so hard. So many people are having, affairs. And there's a big phenomenon, even with the advent of the internet, and something I've seen for people I've read for. Some people aren't even having necessarily physical affairs, but emotional affairs. This is another thing that is becoming very big. So, and I do consider it a form of cheating. That there are some people say they're in a marriage, okay, and maybe it's, become kind of a business, that we kind of stay together, take care of family, work, pay bills, this, that, but are not necessarily showing love and affection to each other. Okay, maybe you have one partner for whatever reason. Maybe they're not showing love, affection, connection. Maybe not sexually, emotionally, whatever it may be. But some people, what they're doing is they may be going online and starting up an emotional affair with another person. Okay, and they're texting and talking and maybe video chat and things like that, and they're pouring out their love and everything to someone else. Okay, and and that is also, can be a form of cheating. That can also be a very hurtful thing. It doesn't always have to become a sexual thing necessarily to become an affair. Because think about that. If say you're married, as your husband or your wife, I'm gonna say this for men too, because women do this too. Maybe they haven't been showing you love, affection, and things like that, and you really feel very empty and void. But then you find out one day you're on the computer or peek at a phone and you see all this, love and opening up the soul and talking about deep things about yourself and everything like that with another person. That would be a very hurtful thing, wouldn't it? But this is a dynamic that is going on. It was some people that they're like, okay, I won't cheat by going out and having a physical, okay, affair. I won't, go have a sexual thing, but they start an emotional affair and expressing their love and adoration for someone else and everything, and talking about deep things, or and then saying it's a big spiritual connection and everything like that. That is a phenomenon that is happening as well and stuff. Instead of trying to work on and maybe heal the relationship you're in. But if a person is up to that point, if they're up to that point where they just don't have that love, whatever, for their partner, they would do a much better service of just leaving that partner and go on and go about your life. And then and get that person, let them heal and let them work on themselves and let them go on and find love with someone else instead of kind of leading them on through whatever drama. It's a very sad state of affairs that we're kind of falling in, as society, with all these things that are happening and stuff like that. And it is a very selfish thing to do. It can be a very selfish thing to do and so forth. Now, I know there are some situations, sometimes those emotional affairs, there is kind of a flip. Maybe the other person isn't giving them affection, and then all of a sudden maybe they bump in and meet someone who does. That also happens as well. That can. But that person also needs to recognize, say they're in that boat situation, and that, if somebody is not, showing you love, affection in any kind of way, and especially if they're treating them poorly, verbal abuse, whatever it may be and stuff, it's time to move on. Our relationships should be good healing ones. They should be positive healing. We're boosting ourselves up. We're lifting up, ourselves and everything. But yeah, that's just a little bit, I feel like what kind of spirit is saying, especially with that death card and everything that's popping up in here. And especially that the very first card, which is interesting, is the Two of Cups, that soulmate card, that beautiful friendly connection. I feel a thing also happening among people in society is they are setting the bar low, okay, with certain ways of being treated and so forth. And they're lowering their expectations, because for them, they've been finding it very hard to find love. And I'll tell you, it's like, don't settle for less. Don't settle for less. You can't do that. If you've got to wait longer to find the right love, and take your time and everything, do that. It's worth it than ending up, in a relationship that is not good for you, that is going to bring you down and stuff. The narcissism and empath phenomenon is a big thing in society right now, even among spiritual groups. There's definitely a lot of that. Those that just, no matter what kind of love and affection you show, you just don't receive it. And you just don't receive it. And that's a little bit what the Six of Pentacles is saying here. Notice there is the giver and there is like the beggars and so forth. There are many empaths, and even Will Smith seems to kind of be like that. Here just, doing everything they can and begging to be given anything from the other person. And that's why I've expressed that the narcissist relationship is like this. Okay, here's the donkey. Okay, and the person or whatever hangs a carrot over the donkey to get them to move. So the donkey is always chasing the carrot, but they never get the carrot. They can't reach it. It's hanging over them like that, right? They keep chasing the carrot, and they never get the carrot. And the carrot represents love, okay? The carrot represents love. They can never get the love. The narcissist knows damn well, okay, that the person wants the love and affection from them so bad. But the narcissist does not have any kind of emotion or feeling and so forth. So, but they know that. They know very well what that person wants. And they will hang that carrot over them always, 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 and everything, but they will never get it. And the goal of the narcissist, as I've told people before, is to break your spirit. So any of you, if you're watching this video, if you happen to be watching this video and you're involved in a narcissist relationship, sometimes people aren't aware they are. Sometimes people aren't aware until it's too late. But if you're in that no matter what you do, nothing is good enough. Nothing is good enough. Okay? Ever. Okay? No matter what, that's a sign of a narcissist relationship. Just to make you feel inadequate, have no sense of self-worth, just eventually where your spirit is totally broken. And to be able to heal and recover once that spirit is broken is so hard. Okay, and it happens to women and men too. It happens to both. It is incredibly hard to recover. And like I said, if you saw my other video, I'm not necessarily getting, believe it or not, that Jada is a full-blown narcissist in that sense, totally. Because I do feel, I feel a brokenness from her as well. But there's definitely some behavior kind of seems like it, to a degree. There's certain behavior, just, like even the party, the 40th birthday party for Jada. He spends 3 years trying to make her a big beautiful party, and then when it's all said and done, she actually puts him down, that it was, all about his ego. And then he's on Red Table Talk saying, you were right. And it's like, no, it wasn't right. But that was drilled into you to make you feel inadequate, that you did a bad thing when you're really trying to do a beautiful thing for someone you love. I really thought that got turned around on him in a way that was crazy. But yeah, I would love to see your guys' input, what it kind of says, about this, as this thing is kind of, been put out there, what it kind of says about, gender roles, masculinity, femininity, open relationships, have we been straying from things? And Spirit's like, see, this stuff doesn't work. This stuff doesn't work. I'm all for women empowerment. That's totally great and stuff. But, also, men and everything, I feel men are definitely having some challenges in society, how to cope and deal with masculinity, but then also deal with their own emotions. They've also got a feminine side to contend with and deal with, and that, that representative of even the deeper emotions that they have, being able to express emotion and not be dragged. Just like some people, with Will Smith kind of breaking down and crying, when he accepted his Oscar, that's, he's getting dragged by some people for being emotional. That's not fair. We want to get away from that, because men need to be able to express emotion in healthy ways and so forth, and not get put down in society and not get dragged for it. They need to. The more, if they have to repress, we're going to have Will Smith's, reactions in society, crazy when it all comes out, and inevitably all that emotion is going to come out and stuff. So, men also need to be able to feel safe to express emotion. They've got to be able to do it in healthy ways and so forth, be able to communicate and everything like that. There's so many dynamics here and everything like that. But let's pull some more. Yeah, let's pull some angel. What does Spirit have to kind of say about a few things? I feel like Spirit wants to talk. I got a lot of the messages, like with everything's going on, stay strong with your faith. That's a real big thing here. And also tune into what does Spirit want even of you, as you're kind of growing in this society. And we've got that stress reduction. I feel all of us are kind of under some stress, especially with what's going on, with gender roles in society. It's very stressful, to be able to be who you are, and express yourself and stuff. Own your divine power. Absolutely. Replace codependent people pleasing with assertiveness and empowerment. I feel that's probably, I would say, even with Will Smith, that's been a big thing, kind of people pleasing, trying to make everybody happy. Jada, of course, especially, we know a lot with that. The people pleasing. He needs to be assertive and step into his power. Definitely with everything. You ain't happy? Leave. Something. Okay, something there. But yeah, we got to kind of step away from being just, straight people pleasers. No, I'm not saying don't express certain things like love or kindness or anything. We want to see people happy. That's okay. But if people are ungrateful and so forth for what you do, just step into your power. Progress, not perfection. Even that's a big thing with Will Smith, trying to be perfect. I'm sure he's been working so hard. And don't compare yourself to others or judge yourself. Instead, focus how far you've come and all that you've learned and stuff. That's a big thing. We're not here to be perfect, guys. We're not here to be perfect. We're here to progress. We're supposed to get better and so forth. life-changing epiphany or experience. It's a time of big and blessed change for you and all of us, really, and God is supporting you every step of the way. This really, I know for definitely for him, has been a life-changing moment, absolutely. And can he grasp the deeper lesson there? Is a big one. But yeah, it's definitely, it's due time. We kind of sit there. Now, I know, as I kind of mentioned this, I don't know if I'm going to get any flack, okay? But I know there's a lot going on with even with people identifying, and I feel part of it is this: masculine and feminine roles. There's definitely been a lot of confusion, and I feel there's been a lot of pain, with people, because society has for so long put the roles to be a certain way and to be very rigid. What is acceptable and what is not acceptable, and so forth. And it's to the point that even people are kind of coming in and saying they're non-binary, and things like that. Various gender. There's a lot of fluidity about identity, but I feel people are having a hard time with it and stuff when it comes to some good healthy masculinity and femininity, which I feel we have in all of us. We have both parts and everything. We have both parts. But I feel, a lot of this, as us older people, we're making it confusing on the young ones. But it's even getting to the point, okay, in society. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I did see a TikTok, and it actually is, it's been talked about in the news, what happened with this lady, that we've got kids in school trying to identify as cats. I'm not kidding. This teacher actually got fired. Okay, she was in the classroom. She came in. She was a substitute, I think is what it was, teacher's assistant, something like that. She's going in. She's taking roll, and she calls on a certain name, and the kid meowed. And she's like, what's going on here? And stuff. So, there was a kerfuffle about this, but she actually, the kids in the classroom try to explain to her, he identifies as a cat. Okay? It is getting to the point where our kids are, because of society, everything is so crazy, that we've got kids in classrooms identifying as cats. And teachers are going, wait a minute, what the hell is going on here? Okay, that, and I really feel it's because, we're confusing our young people so much. Okay, we've been, at one point, society's been too rigid with roles, but now identification, kids are to the point where they don't know to identify with what. They're just saying, I'm a cat, hell with it. Okay, so it's just it's getting a little wild. It's getting a little crazy here, and what we need to do is we've got to figure out a way to balance the masculine and feminine energies. We definitely, people need to be accepted. Just like I said, with their LGBTQ community and so forth. People need to be able to be themselves. I'm very big and huge on that, let people be themselves. But at the same time, because there's so much pressure and we've got this opposition of not accepting people and trying to, define them so hard and everything, we're having kids crack and become cats in the classroom. Okay? It's crazy, but we've got to have that balance. No matter how you are, if you identify male, female, or, if, heterosexual, homosexual, whatever it may be, no matter what, a good masculine, feminine energy balance, that is spiritual. We all have to have that within us and everything like that, and kind of, get there no matter what, because our spirit and our spirit body has those components within us and so forth. But it's like the more that people, we have this extreme that want to keep everything rigid. Okay, that's one extreme. But also we also don't want to go to another extreme. Okay, to the point that we have children in classrooms saying, hell with it, I'll just be a cat. Okay. We also don't want to do that. It's like we want people to have good, healthy perspectives about who they are and so forth, and everything like that. So but it's crazy. And then of course relationships, commitment, or marriages. God, it might get to the point where people stop getting married anymore if things like go that with society. But if people are going to be together, if you're going to make vows, okay, especially vows before God, vows before spirit, love, honor, to be committed, and all that stuff, that it's just you and me here against the world. That's the way it needs to be. What people are trying to open up marriages and bring this person and bring that person and all that, and complicate things, and people get hurt. That's what spirit's like. This needs to come to an end. This needs to come to an end. You're just going to get more wounded and wounded, and going to need to go through all kinds of years of therapy and healing like that. If you're going to be going through that, we need to kind of return to love here. I guess that's one of the best things I can say is we need to return to love here. Hope you enjoyed my talk.